Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Statesman.com and another edition of the High School Blitz. I'm Tony Atkins here with Danny Davis and Rick Cantu. The playoffs are upon us, guys, and we're going to start out by making some picks. We're going to start out at Lake Travis. They host Rouse. Who do you guys see winning this one?
Well, I have a reflex where every time you say Lake Travis, I just automatically pick them to win, but with good reason. They've won 9 in a row for a reason, and obviously maybe the best 6A team in the area. They protect the football. They've thrown 31 touchdown passes this year, only 8 interceptions, so they don't give the game away. If there's an X factor, it's Abe Willows, the running back with almost 1,000 yards this year. I think that Lake Travis could go a long way in the playoffs.
I'm going to pick Lake Travis too. We know Rouse, we know Billy Ray McCrary, some of the nice running backs they have there. Rouse is going to need to be able to run the football, and Lake Travis hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. So I think that defense with Chris Roller, James Bailey in the secondary, the way they've been playing on the defensive line, 23 sacks against Westlake and Bowie, I just don't think Rouse is going to be able to overcome that.
Yeah, all right. Now heading over to Westlake at Chaparral Stadium. Round Rock comes in, and this is going to be a big game. Who wins this one?
Well, I'm going to pick Round Rock. It's another team that's won 9 games in a row. The thing about Round Rock is their defense has been tough. They're 8 games in a row, they've given up 21 points or fewer. In the last 4 games, they've only given up 17 points total, and that's in 4 games. Westlake, they've got a really good quarterback. Sam Ellinger has been lights out pretty much for the whole year, but I don't think he's got enough help. Westlake has normally got more help than this, so I like Round Rock to win this game by maybe 2 touchdowns.
Round Rock's kicker, actually, over that 4-game span, has outscored their opponents 40-17.
Wow,
kind of shows how dominated they've been. But I'm going to go with Round Rock too. Colin Hansen's been playing well, directing that offense. He can throw it, he can pass it. Reed Klubnik's a good wide receiver for Westlake, but Round Rock's only allowed 3 passing touchdowns over the last 8 games. That secondary led by Mason Ramirez. Over the past 4 weeks that we were just talking about, they've allowed 2 touchdowns. Their defense has scored 2 touchdowns. So Round Rock's been playing really good on defense, maybe even better than Lake Travis, the team we just talked about. So I will go with the Dragons.
All right. Heading over to Hendrickson High School, we have Eastview. They'll be taking on Bastrop. Does Eastview's road end here, or does it keep going in the playoffs?
Eastview wins this game. Those kids last year, they made their playoff debut, lost a really close game to Brenham in the first round, then Brenham went on to the state championship game. I think Eastview wins this one. I think it's closer than people are going to expect. Bastrop and Eastview have history. They were district rivals. Last year was a 44-38 game. Bastrop had 4 of its rushers in that game rushed for over 100, at least 100 yards, and 3 of those kids are back, led by Carrington Waits. But I think Eastview, with Cornelio Garcia running the ball for them, he had over 200 yards last year. I think they're going to squeeze this one out.
Eastview wins. Josh Covey, one of those unsung quarterbacks that we don't talk about a lot. 17 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Another guy that likes to protect the football. Cornelio Garcia, you just mentioned him, another 1,000-yard season. Last year actually had more yards than this year, but he plays defense too, and he catches balls out of the backfield. I just think Eastview, top to bottom, has more good players.
Last but not least, we have LBJ and Vista Ridge going at it. Who wins this one?
I'm going to go with Vista Ridge. I think that they've got the possible player of the year in Matt Snow. He's already got 2,800 yards, 31 touchdowns, but they've lost 2 out of 3. That's the one negative about them. They had that 7-0 start. LBJ, meanwhile, they've won 4 in a row. But I'm going to give it to Vista Ridge. I think they have a few more weapons. X Factor, Isaiah Valaire, another player we don't talk about a lot. He averages 10 yards every time he touches the football. So Vista Ridge, they've had a good year. They're going to continue.
I'm going to go actually with LBJ. These 2 teams played in September. Vista Ridge won by 4, but in that game, LBJ held them to 23 points. Vista Ridge has only been held by under 30 to 31 points or less by 2 teams, LBJ and Cedar Park. I like the way LBJ's defense has played throughout the year. I think Avery Jackson is emerging, coming on really strong as a running back. Had over 100 rushing yards, 6 touchdown passes last week against Travis. Zay Giles, his stepbrother, has become a force on offense and defense. And I just like the way they've been playing. I think with LBJ and all the stuff they've been going through this week, losing one of their teammates, I think it's going to be it's going to be an emotional night for them. That could be a good thing for them. It could be a bad thing. They could come out flat. They could come out fired up. But I think in the end, I think they are going to get this victory. It's going to be another close game, and I say the Jags win their first playoff game since 2007.
Wow. Well, those are our picks for this week. Keep checking back in at statesman.com to see what happens.